My name is Karen A. in Jerusalem, and I'm your proud host of the Afro-Euro Reco12 podcast. Personally, I came into these rooms through OA, then realized I was a card-carrying Al-Anon and then some, codependent, love addict, etc. I'm part of a fellowship, a group of amazing fellows, non-humans, as our friend Nikki would say, spirits, angels, spearheads of God's everlasting creation who have found recovery, joy, and hope. And when they lost it, quickly picked it back up through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. We are inclusive. We work this program for all fellowships. So whether you got a drug issue, a people issue, a work issue, whatever it is, you are stuffing in to stop the pain instead of God, instead of spirituality, instead of goodwill, kindness, love, and all of that. We hope you feel that you've found your home. It is my honor to bring my sister, my best friend, and fellow and sponsor and God Squad cheerleader. Go us. Go you. Nikki M, my fellow Valley girl. Nikki M is in our time zone, and it is our honor to have her here in the GMT. Welcome, Nikki.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. And I'm so grateful for that introduction, Miss Valley Girl. We're Valley Girls from where? Orange County, California is where I'm originally from. But right now, I'm here in Luxembourg, a small, tiny country. And that's why I've been gifted this opportunity to share a message of experience, strength, and hope and have it recorded. Why? Because I like to send it out to my sponsees when something's eating their soul. I'll be like, listen to this first, take extensive notes and actions. And if that doesn't work, then we'll talk. So I'm visiting my boyfriend, of course, and I'll be here for a little while from Toronto. That's where I originally live. And today I've done a lot. I want to, number one, thank you, Reco12 and Justin B, for this platform, who's just given everyone an opportunity to get better online through this format. So, of course, I always want to mention, if you're spending money on your habit, on your disease of alcoholism, drop a 7th in there too. And Karen, thank you for your service. So today, what are we going to talk about? When Karen asked me, because I have a lot of topics that I've already spoken about. I've talked about how, if you want to know what my previous recordings on Reco12 are, they're all listed out there. I started with like how the big book saved a sex and love addict like me, Nikki M. That's right. Hi, I'm Nikki M. And why do I qualify for this program? Because I suffered from the disease of alcoholism. And our book says our behavior patterns vary. So my disease of alcoholism didn't look like me, going crazy over alcohol. It looked like me going crazy over men, money, self, the disease of my thoughts. And so that's why I definitely qualified to be here. And I want to talk about, the title was, I gave Karen, when I sent it off, this whole spiel about what I was going to talk about. And she summed it up in one word: reborn. So that's the title of this talk, Reborn. And, what does it mean to be reborn? It means to be brought back to life or activity. See, I was dead. I was blotting out the consciousness of my existence with whatever I could get my hands on. And when alcohol and drugs didn't work, because I did that stuff in Orange County, California many years ago. I had a lot of drinks and a lot of lines up my nose. And then when I put that stuff down, I picked up other things. And that's how my disease manifests in various ways. And so I've been reborn. And how did I get reborn? Well, I worked the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous every day. Like my life depends on it, because it does. See, our book tells us we only get a daily reprieve. I only get a daily reprieve. From what? From my thinking. See, I have an obsessive mind. The book, and if you do not have a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, as Karen said, everyone's welcome here. We have OA, Al-Anon, you name it. It's media addiction. Every addiction is here, and affliction is welcome in what Bill W. wanted, a spiritual way of living open to anyone and everyone who earnestly seeks it. So, I've been reborn by working these 12 steps. I was beyond human aid. Actually, last night I was speaking to a sponsee and she says, Nikki, I have to go. My therapist is waiting. But remember, sponsee, your therapist didn't help you. And I'm not belittling those fine doctors out there, but this person has not really tried a spiritual mode of living. And that's what we're asked to do here, a spiritual mode of living. So if I'm being reborn, which means being brought back to life, that means I was dead. I was the walking dead, and I didn't realize it. I was just walking around, existing, not living. And so, the promises of being reborn is my common sense thus becomes uncommon sense. And that's a huge promise. And another big promise when you're reborn here is that I've undergone a profound alteration in my reaction to life. Now, I'm in the battlefield right here with my boyfriend in Luxembourg. I'm out of my disciplined routine. So I'm not always every moment experiencing this profound alteration in my reaction to life when I'm in my dirty diaper crying and saying, you don't make me, you can't, these tears and this old battle cry of, if you make me feel better, I'll be okay. See, that's my old thinking. And that's why I'm here today, really to talk about what we're doing here. See, a lot of people come in here and think, I just need to stop drinking. I just need to stop scrolling. I need to stop eating that sugar. I need to stop calling that ex-boyfriend, husband, lover. That's not what this is about. You won't get very far if you continue to do these habits, but this is about being reborn with a new attitude. Remember what it says in our book? It says, we've been trying to get a new attitude. That's what this is about, and what's an attitude? It's a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. It's a disposition, a position of my mind, a new attitude. See, that's what I'm trying to get here. People think just, put the plug in the jug, or I'm just going to put away my little black book. Well, now we have cell phones, but remember way back when people had little black books with all their people that they've done or need to call again to do again. That's not what this is about. It's not just putting these things away. It's about getting a new attitude and a new relationship with this God consciousness. See, I know Bill W. said, this is just spiritual kindergarten. I've been here 12 years and I'm just waking up. If you're in year 1, year 2, year 5, I was still dead asleep. I'm looking back over my shoulder going, what was I doing all those years? I mean, I was sponsoring. I was doing exactly as the book said, and that's why I'm been reborn. And so this new attitude that I'm trying to get every day, see, I have to seek this power every day. I need a new relationship with the Creator, this God consciousness. See, there's no separation here. That's my new attitude. I am you, you are me, we are one. I did a talk, I think recently, I don't know, one of the Reco12 talks. It was called, We Entered the World of the Spirit, or We Entered the Spirit World. It's in our book. Think about that. We're entering a spirit world. This isn't human stuff. See, I'm in here to get a new program. This is a new program. I'm a simulation, a computer. I'm like all these crystals and cells and frequencies and vibrations coming together to make this matter called Nikki M. And so these frequencies that I've been on, this radio wave that I've been on before was not working. When you hear a channel on the radio, remember when you had digital or the analog radios and it would go and it's staticky? See, I was on a frequency that wasn't working for me. And so that's what this is about. I need to get into a new frequency, a new vibration, a higher consciousness, because we're in a spirit world. Why am I still trying to do human things in a spirit world? It's not making sense for me. And as I have to hang around people who think like this now, Because when I get into the other frequency, that static, it doesn't work for me anymore. I can go there and serve these people. Even my mother who lives in my house. Why? Many of you, if you know me, if you don't, my mother lives in my home because her husband took a shotgun and blew his head off in front of her while she was making breakfast for him in Arizona. Guns are legal in America. And so I don't mess around here. See, that frequency is all over my home now. My mom's untreated Al-Anon. My mom's untreated alcoholism, the disease of alcoholism. And so I have to fight this battle every day, every single day. This frequency's on me, this energy. So my new attitude, my new way of thinking, go deeper, my new belief system. See, what's a belief? It's a sure feeling that something is true or trustworthy. See, I have to have a new belief system. I have to have an acceptance that something exists or is true. It's faith in something. Because my old belief system was that I was God, that I could control the universe, that if only, what does it say? I love this part in our big book where it says, because it's here, I'm victim. It's on page 32. I always fall victim to my old belief system, but it's really here in the page 61 where it says here, is Nikki not a victim of the delusion that I can wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world if only I manage well? What's managing well? The right husband, the right car, the right job, my perfect kids that aren't so perfect, the tight ass that I think I need because now I'm 50 and I'm not 18 anymore. All these, if only I manage well. See, I can't fall victim to that delusion, to that belief anymore. We come in here to get a new set of beliefs, a new attitude. Are you getting new beliefs? What is your belief system? Anybody in this room? I want everyone to stop and think about this. What is your belief system today? Because that's what this is about. It's about a new belief system. It's about a new attitude, about a new relationship with the one who has all power. And if you think that you have power without tapping this inner resource, I'm here to tell you that I'm watching a lot of people in 2024 run around and not get any results. I was like that for a long time because my belief system was not working. How about coming in here and getting new conceptions, a new concept? That's what this is all about. What's a concept? It's a thought. It's an idea. See, it's a plan or intention, right? It's like my conception of life, my conception of how things should be has got to be totally transformed. I can't just stop doing what I want to do. I have to also have a new way of thinking, a new belief system, because the actions of not doing whatever your drug of choice is. Say, for me, I don't even look at another man right now. I don't even see men, to be honest. I don't even see gender anymore. That's how deep I am in the spirit world. I just see frequencies. I see energies. It doesn't mean I don't know what a man is, but it means that I've been reborn. I don't look at people the same way because my belief system is different. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but I was given a name when I was born. That's me right now. Nikki. Nicole really is my legal name. When my mom's mad at me, Nicole. When the teachers are mad at me, Nicole. When my boss calls me, Nicole, can you come into the office? When I had a job, I was so reborn that I'm retired. Okay. That's kind of the world I'm living in. That's what this book promises. But let's go deeper. I was given a name. I was given a religion. I was given programming from school. I mean, think about this. You guys have to go real deep with me here. We're putting on goggles and we're diving into another dimension. See, all these things I was taught, and I'm going to call it brainwashing. I'm going to literally call it brainwashing. I was brainwashed into thinking this way. I was given concepts. I was given beliefs. These are not my concepts. These are not my beliefs. This is the beliefs and concepts of the society I grew up in the parents I had, in the people I hung around with. And I'm coming in here, and this book asked me to sweep away all prejudice, all ideas, all old concepts, all of these things. And then I got to think really radically honestly, is what I've been taught true? Think about that one, everyone. Is what I've been taught true by my teachers, by my government, by my untreated disease of alcoholism family? Go deep on these things, because when I went deep and I thought honestly, none of it was true. None of it was true. And that's it comes down to acceptance. I had to accept that everything I thought I knew was, drum roll please, fake news. It's all fake news that, oh, we're separated, that you're there, I'm here, we're all one. That's a radical concept. That's a real radical concept. There is no you without me. See, these are new belief systems, new ideas I've come into. How about this belief that nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake? Because I wasn't taught that by the world. I was taught there's a reason for everything. And this is why, Nikki, and this is da-da-da, and this is that. No. This is radical reliance on an invisible energy, on an invisible frequency, on an invisible vibration that I can't explain. This is really deep stuff. What else did I want to talk about on this? Because I do have some notes, because my mind goes crazy. Because recently I've realized, as I said, I'm not even human. I'm just like this avatar. What's an avatar? It's a embodiment and a manifestation of a person. And I just happen to be in this body for this time in this realm, because they do talk about the realm of the spirit in our book. See, we come in here and we just want to stop, but we don't realize we have to start seeking this power every day with, as Karen reminded me, the desperation of a drowning person. When I go through my big book lately, every line out is like every day. Like every day am I remembering that page 8, what is my master? See, page 8 in Bill's story says that alcohol was his master. What is your master today, everybody? What is your master today? See, my master right now is my thinking. It's me. I want. My boyfriend, Mr. Luxembourg, isn't doing as I need and want him to do. That's all fake news. See, I have to be okay. Here it is, the step 5 promise. Perfect peace and ease alone. And I'm real good at doing that when I'm in my environment, when Nikki's queen of her castle, in her home in downtown Toronto with her outdoor shower and her hot tub and doing as Nikki M pleases. But when I have to come into someone else's environment, how am I showing up? Because it says we practice these principles in all our affairs. All our affairs. That's hard when I come here because I forget. It's like I forget. I fall asleep. There was a guy in the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous when I first found my sponsor there, because I couldn't find one in Al-Anon that really gave me the undiluted message. But in Cocaine Anonymous, they use the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it doesn't matter your drug of choice. And at that point, my drug was love. Love. And I'm not just talking sexual love. I can't live without my daughter. Okay. How about that one? How about, how about those loves, the codependency on the dog? This goes deep. And so I have to be okay at perfect peace and ease by myself. My boyfriend reminded me the other day, Nikki, you come into this world alone and you leave this world alone. That's a real deep thought. I'm here. Why am I here? Why was I reborn? Because I'm here being reborn to what? The book says to serve God's people. I have to remember this every single day. It's not easy to do. It's not easy. Like, what's your purpose? I used to think my purpose, again, I need a big house. I'm from Orange County, California. That was embedded in me. You know, you need the house with the pool, with the kids, with the dogs, with the cheerleading outfit. Oh, and I ticked off a lot of those marks. And then what? And then what happens when you get it all? That's not what this life is about. You got to go real deep, real deep. Why do I exist? Why do? Is it for the new car? Is it for the, what's it for? Is it to leave my kids, millions of dollars? What's that going to do for them? Because a lot of us on here had a lot of money and we were dying. A lot of us had no money and we were dying. This disease of alcoholism, how about the disease of self? It's not selective. It's for everyone out there. And until we, as collectively, I'm going to say this collectively, we have to wake each other up. We're all in a deep, deep slumber. I'm seeing people here, guy in my program, and I've spoke about it recently, a few people. I'm sober, Nikki. You shouldn't even be in this room, Nikki. You don't qualify. You're not a real alcoholic. You're not a real drug addict. I'm sober. And you shouldn't be here, Nikki. This is the talk I hear a lot. And guess what? This person slept with 4 different people in the room, newcomers. That's not helpful. That's not a new set of beliefs. That's not a new conception. That's not a new attitude, but they're sober, or how about this? I'm sober. I don't do cocaine anymore, but I've got heart disease and I'm literally carrying an extra 100 pounds on my body, but I'm sober. Where's your new belief system? Where's your new God consciousness? Where's the fact that we have to respect these temples and practice these principles in all areas of our life? And this does not happen overnight. So if you're listening and you're like, what's Nikki talking about? Number 1, stay, don't go. Because the book clearly says more will be revealed. This isn't for the faint of heart. We have a group chat with my Monday meeting, Noodle Nikki, and someone posted, well, if we can't post meetings and post memes, why are we here? Why are we here? Like, really, are we here in 12-step to post about sitting on meetings and post memes about how, or post little YouTube reel shorts about how God's great? Why are we really here? We're here every day to wake each other up to this God consciousness so we all have a profound alteration in our reactions to life. See, I always have problems in my life. We all do. Isn't it? Isn't that what happens? Like, you ask God, oh, God, help me. And then God will send you a problem. So you're helped. So I can learn how to deal with these problems. So God keeps sending me a lot because I'm like, I need strength and power. Well, here's a shit ton of problems, Nikki, so you can get more strength and power, not just handing me strength and power. So I've got this huge issue with my neighbors. It's always something. I got to go back to my original recordings because there's always something along the way. Right now, it's this thing with my home. Well, not even my home. See, there we go. This is a home that God has gifted me to be the caretaker of. And then little did I realize that this home was going to house my mother forever. Because after COVID, I know I can't put her into a home. I know I can't leave her alone. I'm her only child. So she must stay in my home with me forever. So it's not even my home. It's this home that I'm caretaking. And so this challenge with my neighbors, it's like I had a profound alteration. I never hit send on the emails immediately. I went to the properly appointed authority. I didn't get in fear because I am retired and I have enough money. Hey, everyone, it's 2024. So if you're listening in 2034, groceries are super expensive. So I had to go get a little grocery money job for groceries. And long story short, I got a lawyer, the properly appointed authority. That's what my book says to do. I didn't start smashing windows and start dropping F-bombs and get into a murderous rage because that's my old belief system. That's my old attitude. I literally sat. I can remember I sat and I just went to Pausland. Pausland, if anybody hasn't heard of it, it's a dream world. It's a real dream world. And Pausland See, God gave us a brain to use, and we can use it for creative things too. And in pause land, nothing can touch me. I can stay there and I can get rejuvenated. You know, I talked about an avatar. So imagine if you've ever seen the movie Avatar, I can just lay down and plug into this thing called pause land, where everything is beautiful, where all my thoughts, my ideas are filled with love, respect, a higher consciousness, a loving and tolerant attitude, an attitude of forgiveness, that I'm armed with the facts that the people who wrong me are sick. See, the big book's become a working part of my mind. So I know these people are sick because the book says any life, not just an addict's life, any life run on self-will can hardly be a success. See, that's why the big book, when someone in the group chat, why are we here? So this book becomes a working part of my mind because my mind isn't right. My mind's been programmed by these belief systems that aren't mine. It's been programmed by a society that, if you ask me, is broken. There's no God in society. There's no God in a lot of things. All you have to do is open your eyes and use the brains that God gave you to use, and more will be revealed if you really want it. See, on page 12 of our book, it says, you've got to want it enough. Do you want it enough? I have a sponsee, and I'm going to call out his name, Bo Bastic Fantastic, Mr. Bo. And Bo is a media guy, and he made this video, and he overlaid my voice on it. And it said, you know, and I cry when I think about it because, you know, I just live for God. Like, I didn't realize that that's all I'm to do, is to live for love, is to live for forgiveness, is to live to be kind and helpful, wanting nothing in return. And he sent me this video, and I woke up to this bright spot of like, wow, I said that 9 years ago. And here I am almost in year 13, feeling even more convicted in these beliefs, even more, I don't know. My new attitude is that I don't need anything. You know, I just turned 51. And I told my boyfriend, don't get me a card, don't get me a birthday present. He didn't. He finally listened to me and he didn't do it. And part of me, my human part was like, wow, did I really not want something? But the truth is, I didn't want anything. I just want God. I just want God. That's really radical. Think about that. To want nothing. I don't need a new dress. I don't need new earrings. I don't even need new lipstick. I have everything I need. What's missing, everybody? Really, more, the fear porn that I watch, the porn that's everywhere. And I'm not talking that sex porn. I'm talking that shopping porn, that need for, that comparison porn, that all of it. It's everywhere. And so this is not for the faint of heart, everybody. That's why it says in our book, many pursue it to the gates of insanity or death. And they do it sober. They do it sober. I'm just not drinking. I'm just not sexing. I'm just not eating. It's so much more than that. I'm watching people in sobriety, sober and dry, always at the jumping off place. Now, don't think I don't have moments like that. The other day, I was like, if you don't get me out of your place right now and take me out somewhere where there's fresh air and, you know, yeah, I'm at the jumping off point of leaving this relationship, but that's just a moment thought. That's just a moment's thought, and it passes because I've learned not to react the way I used to react because I've been reborn. So everybody on here, have you been reborn? That's what this is about. And let's go deep. I see my friend here, and he's a daddy. And I'm hoping, yeah, you, sir, I'm hoping you were at the foot of the bed when your wife gave birth. And I don't know if you've had like mommy had a C-section or vaginal, whatever she did. But I'm going to tell you, the birthing process, however that baby comes out, yeah, it's painful. That's
humbling experience.
There we go. Thank you. There we go. So you know, and I've given birth twice, okay? 12 years apart, both natural. This thing is painful. This thing is so painful. So is everybody going through that pain of rebirthing your spirit and soul? Come on, wake your spirit up right now. This isn't just putting the plug in the jug. This isn't just ripping up phone numbers and sitting on your hands so you don't look at your cell phone anymore, or that you lock your fridge up. This is rebirth. Everybody knows the phoenix out of the ashes. Come on, go deep. This is serious stuff. So mommies, daddies, and if aunties, uncles, I don't care if you haven't had a baby, you've seen it. Go look at an animal give birth. This is a process. This is a process that is not easy. And the book says it. Let's go deep on that, because I know I talked, Karen, for a few moments, and then we'll get some people in here. Hopefully you have some questions or some comments, because I want to hear from you, and I want to know, or Karen and the whole Reco12 family wants to know, like, are you really reborn? Okay, because page 14, and let's go over it. And I know we always talk about it, but it says here, it says this, simple. See, this is so simple, everybody. This is not complicated. This is real simple. We complicate it as humans. Get out of your human form and get into the spirit world. It's not easy. We just talked about it. Birthing, being reborn is not easy. And it says the price has to be paid. Question mark. Are you paying that price? Line out every day. Are you paying that price every day? Because as I'm sitting here talking, and I'm just talking to myself, every time I talk, I'm just talking to me. You're me, I'm you. Everybody, you're me, I'm you. There's no separation. We're all one consciousness, one God consciousness, one creator of the entire universe. Did you pay that price every day? And it says destruction of self. That's a big word, isn't it? Destruction of self. See, I'm going to have to really leave this talk and really walk this walk today with my boyfriend, because I haven't been walking it. And I'm not going to sit here and drift off into morbid reflection and mentally flog myself, because I'm not a saint. I'm not a saint, and I'm progressing. Destruction of self. And are you turning all things over? And new friend, if you're here and you're like, Nikki, I just need to stop drinking. That's right. You just need to stop drinking. If you're here and you're like, I have to quit smoking, and I have to quit my coffee. And no, you just need to quit calling that person and taking him hostage right now, madam. That's the priority right now, just for today. But the broad highway gets very narrow. See, the book says very clearly, you don't have a lot of choices. Where is it, Nikki? We get the power of choice back. Do you? Because on page 53, it says God is everything or God is nothing. That's only two choices. So where is your choice? What would God have you be? See, this is real radical stuff. Nikki, you're so radical. You're going to scare the newcomer. Let's scare him. Let's scare the newcomer right into making the choice that God is everything or God is nothing. See, you don't get a lot of choices if you're a real spearhead. It's very radical. And I don't want to apologize, as my book says. I never apologize for God, because I spent my life apologizing for who and what my belief systems that were taught to me, the attitude that was shown to me by those around me. And so now I come through this birthing process. That's what the 12 steps is every day. This steps 1 through 12, every day, all day, every day, all day. Step 1, I can't do life. I'm powerless over my thoughts. Step 2, I have to believe, trust, believe 110% in this power that is greater than not just myself, everything on the planet, greater than my government, greater than those people on the tell lies to my vision. Make sense? Step 3, I have to make a decision every day, not just to give my life to this power of love, but to be a member of this 12-step program. How am I walking, talking, and representing this magic big book? Every day I have to take a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself. Someone drill that into me, of me, not Mr. Luxembourg, not my mom, not my government, or even this government here. I'll pick on any government. It's of yourself, Nikki. You're to disregard everyone every day. I am to blame. I'm to blame for everything. I am the creator of my life and my world. Step 5, I tell somebody. I tell somebody. That's it. That's it. And sometimes I've done nothing wrong, so I just have to tell myself, Nikki, this is what you are. If you do not behave, you're a monster. You guys know my inventory. I tell somebody. Step 6, every day I get willing. Every day I get willing. And if I'm clinging to something like my need to be right or my fantasy that life should be this way, I have to ask God, not call my sponsor. I have to ask God to help me be willing every day. Step 7, my creator, I am now willing every day that you take all of me, good and bad. Every day, please, God, use me, God, please. Step 8, I have a list. I've harmed the entire human race. That's my list, the entire human race. Step 9, I make amends by living this program to the best of my ability, because my behavior, not my words, will convince all of you way more. Step 10, I take this inventory. I take this way of life every day. I continue to grow in effectiveness and understanding. Step 11, I seek this power through so many things. Religious people, spiritual people, my crystal people out there, my yoginis, my everybody, my Naya Binky Rasta people, everybody. I'm seeking it through you, through music, through life, through the sunset that my boyfriend shows me, because he's a sunset chaser. We watch the sunset. And step 12, I just live for you. That's it. I want to serve you. I'm a servant. That's my title. reached the highest title. If I could wash all of your feet right now, I would. And I would be happy to do it because I want to serve you. And this is repeated every day, all day. How about every hour on the hour, all those 12 steps? So if this sounds really radical, it is. Join us. Karen, I think I've said enough, don't you?
Wow. That was next level. I'm going to think about where I want to start. Reborn. You spoke about being reborn, and I love that you brought it to life, actual birth. I'm the mother of 6 children, thank God. And, I've been down that rodeo. One time was by a C-section. The rest were natural, thank God. Like, I never thought about that, when we're dealing with emotional sobriety, the family afterwards. I never thought about that. We say simple, not easy, but again, we need to get so careful about buzzwords and memes, as Nikki says, and slogans. Gosh, slogan meetings. Oh boy. It hurts. It hurts. And sometimes there's postpartum too. Talk about emotional sobriety or lack thereof. It hurts. And, like our big book says, first people need, the medical attention when they're cleaning up, right? When they've got the delirium tremens, just like a woman who gave birth, that she needs to be in the hospital. In my country, it's 2 days supervision, vitals, blood loss, make sure there aren't complications, infections, et cetera, make sure baby's okay. Hearing's okay. Anyway, I love that. I love that, being reborn. And of course, being reborn also means that, and I have to do it every day. I had to do it today. I have to do it yesterday. I'm going to have to do it 2 minutes from now, 2 hours from now. that if I'm taking this work seriously, and I do, and Nikki does, and if you're still on the phone and haven't hung up, I'm going to bet that you do too. And you people listening to recording, you take this seriously, like your life depends on it. That's why you're here. This is graduate school recovery. We don't mess around here with Reco12, with Noodle It Out, with Nikki. We don't mess around. This is the graduate school of recovery. PhD.
Karen, remember
yeah,
can I
go
say
ahead,
something real quick as you just said that?
Yeah.
Page 75 says, you know, we are on a life or death errand here. You know, that's what it's, I think it's 75. I got to find it here. Yes, it does. It says, we should realize that we are engaging upon a life and death errand. Has anyone thought about that? Like, this is, like you said, graduate school, whatever level we're at, we got to keep climbing because this is a life or death errand. If you or anyone you love suffers this disease, it's not selective. This is a life or death errand. This is not about, as you said, sitting in a meeting. This is not about just repeating a slogan or sharing memes. This is a life or death errand. Why are we here? It's a good question.
And I'm going to add to that, life or death errand. And that means that if the old you died, that in the next minute, you shouldn't be recognizing the lady who's in this little Zoom box here, right? I shouldn't be recognizing my friend Nikki. How's that? I just made, how many people we got here? 13. I just made, 12 new friends, right? Because if we've been reborn this minute, if we've decided to be reborn, if we've been honest, open-minded, and willing to be reborn, that means that I don't recognize you or I don't recognize me, or as Joseph O likes to say, you never really took a real step one. You never realized how powerless you are. And being reborn is something I've been thinking a lot about this week, not just because I talked to Nikki a lot, but as a person, like many addicts and codependents who's had a lot of trauma, it's very easy to get more upset than the average bear because it hurts more, because you've been through more. And I'm not going to compete with you guys because I know we could all really duke it out, But see, if I'm reborn, I don't have to deal with that, being re-traumatized or having that thing come up again, because now I'm a new person. I wish I took that seriously. I need to take that seriously. I need to do that right now, be reborn. Maybe, Nikki, can you talk about, you're saying rebirth is painful. Okay. Ultimately, it gets you happy, joyous, and free. Can you share a little bit personally? What was painful for you about it? What was the birth pangs of being reborn, of not doing things the old way? I'm going to think about, I'm trying to think as I asked you, how would I answer that same question?
Well, let's see. It's not easy to, when you are I say programmed. See, the program in me, I do is an automatic response. So whatever I've been programmed, so I can't do that anymore. So it was really painful not to do what I want to do anymore. See, that's painful when you want, or even here, when you think you need that and you can't have it. It's painful. It's like the withdrawal. It's the withdrawal. Like, look at somebody who's on heroin or on, they have to, that's real. You can die. Well, alcoholism is one of the worst to withdraw off. I saw my first stepdad. He died of my mom's a love addict. She's had 2 husbands die of alcoholism. The second one blew his head off, but the first one, he wanted my mom back. And so he just started withdrawing off alcoholism. And it almost killed him. I went to the hospital to see him, and he was dead. He was a dead man, because that's what withdrawal looks like. You think you need something. Your body, your mind, your temple has become so accustomed that you that's how you survive. It's your medicine. It's your sick medicine. So what happens when someone doesn't get their medicine? They start to, you see a diabetic without their insulin, you're not going to last very long. So if you're an alcoholic without your alcohol, it's hard to get off of that. If you are a love addict without that love that you think you need, if you are a food addict without that food you think you need, and it's really hard. It's like I'm a faster, page 87, see where religious people are right. The first time I fasted, it was so painful and so hard, I thought I was going to die. Now, you heard me the other day. I was in pause land. I locked myself here in my boyfriend's. He's got a few bedrooms here, so I locked myself in one of them. 36 hours. That was a walk in the park. I was like, close the door. I need to do another 72. So I'm used to it now because I've gone through the withdrawal. So it's very painful.
What she's saying, I'm just going to pause you there to throw in some big book, is we grow in understanding and effectiveness. See, what hurt like heck the first time around, what was super strong, like this crazy lady could do, whatever, another 7 hours of fasting, just throw in another 10, we grow in understanding and effectiveness. That is just such a next level example. For you moms and dads on the line, I'm going to take it into the people addiction, which Nikki also likes to speak about a lot. The Anons, the Codas, we're all control addicts, right? Because we think we're running the show. We're all thought addicts because we're picking up thoughts. If you're like me, I'm a self-pity addict, a martyr addict, a victim addict. I get it, though. I really got what you said. How does it hurt? So, like, if I'm used to driving with my kids in the car, this just happened on summer break, and they're fighting. And so I'm growing in understanding and effectiveness. So maybe I used to hit, I used to yell, I used to, scream. So now I don't do that anymore, right? So I'll pull over to the side of the road. That's an improvement, progress, not perfection. I'll pull over, I'll meditate, while gritting my teeth. I don't know how holy a meditation it is, but, I'll meditate. I'll say, I'm no longer running the show, God. I'm powerless. Thy will not mine be done. It is not easy. It is not fun. I just want to get to the beach. But see, I'm changing. I'm not going to enable my kids to hurt each other. But, I just was reborn and it wasn't easy. I told Nikki the other day, you know what? No more drives with more than 2 kids. And yesterday night, Nikki and all my friends here, I put that into practice. I got in the car and I had an engagement. And the daughter of the sister of the boy being engaged is my daughter's best, really good friend. And I said, I'm not going to be taking you in the car. I'm happy to ride the bus with you. See, I don't want to be punitive either because love and tolerance is my code. So I had to check myself that I'm not retaliating. I said, I'm happy to take the bus with you. I could drive and you could take the bus. She's like, no, if you're not driving me, I don't want to go. It's like, okay. See, that was hard. That was hard for somebody who's a real enabler, a control freak. But see, like, I'm done yelling and screaming at my kids. I'm getting old, I'm almost 50. I can't yell. I don't have the energy to yell and scream at them and be really terrified driving. I don't like driving at night in the first place. Now I'm getting older. I'm not a Valley girl anymore. I'm here in Jerusalem, I'm young. Words matter, Nikki says to me. I'm super young and full of life, but I can't anymore. I'm armed with the facts. I can't drive with people yelling, hitting, screaming, yelling at me, putting me down. Like, I'm not willing to do that anymore. But that was hard to not take her. And I was like, how about that? I actually enjoyed myself,
Well, how about this, Karen?
A price had to be paid.
And how about this? Love is a decision about how you're going to treat people. And so you made that decision to not only love yourself, but to love your children and to treat them, right? Like, not enable them, to treat them, to show them. It says, the book says, we show, we don't tell. We lay out a kit of spiritual tools at your children's feet. And I love what you said. It's on page 67. We don't retaliate. So what did you do? You offered to take the bus instead. And this is the solution.
And I hate taking the bus.
Everybody does. Everybody
I get car
does.
sick.
Okay.
I get car sick like a first grader. A price had to be paid. She just asked me when I'm taking her to America. And then it reminded me that she flipped out on me in public at the duty free. And I was like, never, until you straighten out, if you want to get some therapy, if you want to, do whatever you got to do. But the way we did it last time, never again until something changes.
So we learn, Karen. And so now we learn, it's like, we don't have to do that anymore. You have a new set of beliefs. You have a new attitude. You have chosen, you made a decision. See, everyone, the decision is not just to live for God. How about this? Love is a decision. Are you making a decision about how you want to treat those around you? Are you making a decision and not waiting for the feeling? See, the feelings are fleeting. The feelings that's fleeting. The feelings aren't facts. So are you making a decision to do the next right thing regardless of how it's going to turn out? That's a big thing. Are you making a decision to forgive people no matter what? That's a big decision. See, these are decisions that we have to make every day. Are you making a decision to trust your God consciousness within rather than what society, your wife, people around you are saying? See, this is radical stuff.
Well, what about this one? I have a radical one for you about, remember I talked about the nasty woman at my office? Are you willing to publicly compliment a coworker who has lambasted you because you want to be a woman of God or a man of God? Are you willing to make someone look good who ripped you to shreds? Not because you're a codependent or a victim, because you're working on yourself and you're trying to break out of that craziness. We have some questions in the chat, Nikki. Brian, you posted a question in there about living with your mom. Are you able to see that, or you want me to read it to you?
Just read it to me, please. I'm on my cell phone.
Please explain how you live with your mom, an unrecovered addict, in a healthy way while being true to yourself and your needs.
Yeah, I make a decision. I make a decision that I'm going to treat her like a sick person. Remember, I'm going to show her the same tolerance, pity, and patience. And then I'm going to look for the God in her. See, I'm going to know. And then I went deep. This is going to be real deep, and it's going to sound real crazy to you earthlings, but here it is. I made a decision to come to the planet Earth to be a light worker. Now, that sounds really radical, but I know I made a decision. And we choose our parents from what I've been seeking. I've been seeking this power for a long time. And I think this is my conception. These are my beliefs. My mom chose to come as the mother this time. I chose to come as the child this time. And I'm seeing that my mom's not succeeding in her momhood. So I think I was the mom last time. So I have to get back into that role and take care of her, because that's what I do. So this is all a mind thing. This is all in your mind. Everybody, I'm going
to interject. I'm going to interject here with your permission, because I know Nikki well. Brian, Nikki's also asking herself, as am I, how can I be helpful, right? Our new job description. Oh gosh, it's just sitting on my phone.
That's right. Our only job.
Our new job description is to be helpful. So sometimes she could be a big girl and wash her mommy's feet, like Abraham, our forefather, washed the feet of the angels who came to his tent. Sometimes she could wash her mom's feet, and sometimes she needs to go out, go to a meeting, get a coffee with friends, because sometimes that's more helpful than being around the house. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nikki, No, same thing with my teenagers. How can I be helpful? Well, sometimes I can't. So I bounce, or I'll go to the Western Wall and pray, or I'll see a friend and just things get better.
I've set up a sanctuary in my home. I mean, this is it, everybody. Anything you want, you can have. This is all in your mind. COVID hit. I lost my 6-figure job at Canada's largest hospital. And somehow my mortgage was paid off and I got a hot tub in my backyard, a 5-seater hot tub. So when I say that all things are possible, I mean, these are the material things that I don't really care about, but this is my belief system. I saw it, I believe it, so it happens. And so again, I really got deep into this spirit world. What's my mom doing here? What am I doing here? These are questions I have to ask myself. Karen, our Chris D has a question I see too. You want to unmute, Chris, so we can hear you?
Hey, lovely to hear you. Beautiful to be here, Nikki. I love how you never undersell how powerful this illness is, and you never undersell what's possible in recovery. So if someone wants to join a WhatsApp group and just post memes and go to some meetings, that's if that's what you want recovery to be, go for it. Or if you want it to be about the promises, about a new relationship with your creator, intuitively knowing how to handle situations, that's what I want. I want all the promises in the big book to come true and keep on coming true one way or another, you know? So I just wanted to say, I love what you were talking about. You know, it's not just a daily reprieve; it's a kind of instant by instant reprieve, isn't it? Because I copped a few resentments this week, and I always put pen to paper. I never take my chance. I always put pen to paper with resentments. So I wrote them down, and these are like zombie resentments. They keep coming back to life. They're just the same old. I don't want to swear. The same old stuff going round and round. And I thought, why do they keep on coming back? I keep getting rid of them, and they keep on coming back. And the reason I realised that is my alcoholism right there on paper. You know, it's the manifestation of selfishness, self-centeredness, all the 400 forms of weirdness that you talk about. And it's nothing to the story that I put in columns 1 and 2 is just, you know, window dressing. It's absolutely meaningless. It's the stuff underneath. So really getting down to that causes and conditions. But I realized, I need to pull my finger out and do more. And the solution to that resentment was the more I'm doing for others, not just as a sponsor, but as a family member and so on, they go. And I could spend thousands, tens of thousands in therapy talking about that stuff, talking round and round and round and round and round, or I can get free of it, which is what this program offers, you know. So you really reminded me, it's like we're on a knife edge constantly. You know, I either go with the really negative train of thought, and sometimes I don't even notice I'm going with the negative train of thought. I believe it, but I'm down the rabbit hole before I even realize I'm thinking about that stuff. Or I go the other way and I'm seeking God. And, you know, me and our friend David were talking about this the other day. You know, the best type of friend is someone who reminds you constantly of God. And that's what you're doing right now, you know. And that's what the Reco12 community does for me. It's just constantly remind me I'm on a knife edge and which way am I going to go now, you know. And so beautiful. And listen, just to say as well, I've got dear beloved friends, long time in AA, who are dying of alcoholism, but because they haven't had a drink, they think they're all right. And they think that chip that they've got is the answer, and it's not, you know. So I want what you've got. So I'm sending love always. Love to everyone in this meeting.
Oh, love you, Chris. And I see a question in the chat, and I know we got to wrap up, but let me just look at it real quick, Karen, so we can answer it. Chris, everybody get a God squad. We cannot do this alone. It says it, we. So a question in the chat says, how do you work with sponsees? Would you recommend people quit their jobs? Well, is it helpful to quit your job? I didn't quit my job. So no, I wouldn't recommend that at all. That's not helpful. But it says, I was told when I would come in to the rooms that it says, I was told I would need to do that when I first came into the rooms. You're going to hear a lot of things in the rooms. You're going to hear people say you need to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. You're going to hear people say you need to shave your, head. You need to do this. You need to do. Now, if it's not in the book, don't do it, everybody. So how do I do it with my sponsees? I have them open up the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, or I come with a workbook that I use. Some of my friends on here do too. It's a condensed version of the big book, but it's all big book speak. We open up on page 1 and we go through it to the end. And then I say sponsor. And then if they don't sponsor, I say, don't call me till you have a sponsee. It's very simple. What do? You lay out the kit of spiritual tools. If it's not in the book, don't say it, everybody. Please do not water down this undiluted message that's in our beautiful book. So if your sponsor tells you you need to quit your job, ask them, what page is that on? That's all. Very simple, because sponsors are just sick people like me. I'm a sponsor. And I'm a sick woman, and I get a daily reprieve from this disease of alcoholism. Karen, it's almost 11. Let's end this.
Yeah, you work the steps. Fear of financial insecurity will leave you. Just work the steps, clean house, trust God, serve others. That's it. Like Nikki likes to say, it doesn't even say the word sponsor in the big book, Anyway. This was awesome. I have been reborn. Yes. Amen. When's the bris? Just kidding. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, fellows, for being so participatory in our chat. We feel your vibes here in the labor and delivery ward. And thank you, babies. Go just create great things. Give birth to lots of love and tolerance and positive energy. Intelligent agent spearheads of God's everlasting creation. It has been my honor. We'll catch you here next week on Reco12. in the Afro-Euro Timezone, please PM me if you have not spoken and would like to. If you have other fellows in your town, cities, local online fellowships who you think should share their experience, strength, and hope, we'll take them all. AA, GA, DA, CODA, Al-Anon, you name it. Thank you, everybody, and have a beautiful day.
There was a man put his hand by the side of his mouth, and he wanted to scream, but the sound never came out. So he reached for the bottle to wash the pain away, 'cause what he wanted so badly was to live a different way. And all of his problems and all of his pain filled up the puddle and rose with the rain. His ship kept on sinking to the bottom of the lake, and he knew for certain that he was just a fake, just a fake. Was a man put his hand by the side of his mouth, and he wanted to share, but only lies ever came out. So he reached for the needle to numb the pain inside, and the truth that he yearned for shriveled up and died. And all of his problems and all of his pain filled up the puddle, rose with the rain. Ship kept on sinking, bottom of the lake, he knew for certain that he was just a fake, just a fake. Side of his mouth as he read from the book, only truth spilled out. So he reached for a power to help him through the night, 'cause what lives in the darkness dies